The longer I'm wearing this, the more I'm liking it. Is it better than my Maybelline Skin Tint?
Let's go, girls.
Alright, my beautiful glam fam, let's jump right into it. I don't want to waste any time because I want to try out two different shades. One we'll do live in studio and one I'm going to do on a different day, so I'll just show you B-roll of that. But I am going to prep my skin really quick, so I'm going to start off again with my Dermatology water cream. If you're new here, this is my base that works for me, and I always like to do my normal base because I want to make sure to give this skin tint a true, or anything I'm reviewing, a true chance, right? Because if I switch it up and try other methods, then I may not be giving it the best chance. And this is going to allow me time while I go through the details for this to really sink into my skin before I go in with the other products. It really just kind of melts into my skin and it gives me the most incredible base. And you can always use my code Kristi20 with all dermatology products. All right, you guys, let's jump into the details while this kind of settles into my skin. So this is the brand new Sephora Reveal the Real 12-Hour Soft Radiant Skin Tint. This retails for $20 US. You get about 1 ounce in 30 mils. So we're looking at about 67 cents per mil. This has a 12-month shelf life and it was made in Italy, which is amazing. This weightless formula offers the perfect combination of a radiant blurred finish while rapidly correcting the appearance of uneven skin tone. Now the website says it's for normal, dry, combination, and oily skin types. So I don't have oily skin, but let me know in the comments if you've tried this and it works out for you. This skin tint contains less than 1% of synthetic fragrance. It's also gluten-free, vegan, and cruelty-free. Let's take a look at the full ingredient list. We have water as the first ingredient. We also have isododecane, dimethicone. You do see alcohol denate as the fourth ingredient, so please keep that in mind because I know some of you are very allergic to alcohol denate. That doesn't bother my skin, but I know some people are, and that some of our glam fam sisters. You also have boron nitrate, and then you can take a look at the rest of the ingredients right there. It's not too long, which I do appreciate. Now let's take a look at the packaging. It does come in recyclable packaging. It looks a lot like my iconic London Skin Tint packaging. It reminds me a lot of that. Maybe a slight bit bigger than the iconic one, but I do love that this is very travel friendly. It's nothing special for a $20 price point at full retail price. I would personally wait because I actually didn't even buy this foundation. I just picked up samples. I'm just showing you guys what it looks like in store. I personally am going to wait because the fall savings event is coming around the corner. It usually is like late October, early November. It changes every year, and all Sephora collection is 30% off for my US glam sisters. So you guys know if something's really good, I'll pay the price. But if I can get a good deal and I know that I'm going to get 30% off in a couple months, and I have other foundations that I absolutely love. Even if I do love this one, it's just for me worth it to wait and get that 30% off. And they do run a lot of different sales throughout the year. Like one recently was 25% off of all Sephora collection items. So keep that in mind as well. Let's touch on those shades. So it's available in 20 shades. I personally think they could have done a little bit more with that shade range because they're owned under the LVMH brand. I mean, it's Louis Vuitton. Come on, you guys have the money to kind of work on those shades, and I always feel like that's the downfall of Sephora collection is the shade range and the undertones involved in that, especially for some of us girls that are mixed skin tone. If you look at those shades, 130N is definitely going to match me during winter time, and maybe even now when I'm not self-tan, so I'm not really quite sure where I'm going to be at. They didn't give me that much product either, so we're going to kind of have to see what we can work with. We have 140P, which is the one I'm going to apply live in studio. I actually really love that shade. I thought I was going to be 150Y, but you guys can see it right there. That is definitely, do you see how orange that is? It's crazy. That's supposed to be a yellow undertone. That's orange to me. That's not yellow. Once oxidized with my skin is just crazy, crazy dark and orange. So that was definitely not, that was the one I was going to pick up online, and I'm so glad I went in store. So I ended up being P, which is more cool undertones. They they pull a little bit more peach undertone, I would say. If you're more fair cool, I would stick within the N range because it just seems a little bit, I don't know. You guys have to go in store and test it out yourself. 160p is another shade that I could possibly go into. So we'll have to see. I'm either going to test out 130N or 160p on a different day. I'll let you guys know that later on. And then we have 170O, obviously definitely not my skin tone. That is very olive and very dark. And then 180p was really orange. So you can see the variance between even 160p and 180p. That's a big jump right there. I mean, that went from like peach to orange, a dark orange. So I don't know, you guys. I just find that their shade range has always been so incredibly weird, in my opinion. All right, you guys, we're gonna go in with my NYX Freezy Face. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I like to use a spoolie so I don't get my nails all in there. I usually take about that much when I'm really dry. You guys know this stuff is just incredible for the price point. This is $20. I will pay $20 even though I do always wait for a sale and then I stock up on this, but it's so good. And remember with Ulta, you can always use the $3.50 off coupon, which is what I love about Ulta versus Sephora. I wish Sephora would do that with their affordable Sephora collection brand. I think that's something that they should consider doing. All right, I'm gonna go in with my Dermatology #1 primer. You guys know the drill. Now, you don't have to go in with all these primers. You have to prime your face the way you prime your face, what works for you. This is a method that works for me. And this is just like a Benefit Professional, but I think a lot better and I don't break out, which is nice. I do with the Benefit Professional. So this is just my method. It works for me. You do you, boo-boo. All right, you guys, let's go in with 140p. It's hard to tell. They come in these like little samples that you can get at Sephora. Shake that, because usually like serum type foundations, you want to kind of shake. Let's see here. What is the best way? I think we're gonna actually do the spoolie. Put that on the back of my hand. Let's take this hair back so we don't get foundation all over my hair. We're just gonna, oh yeah, that's plenty of foundation. That was like probably what you would consider one drop because it comes in like a droplet. I don't know if I would use more than this. Wow, that's really nice. I like this texture. I actually even like this so far more than the Iconic London, and you guys know how much I felt about that, but we'll have to see. I mean, just upon initial, I feel like it's more moisturizing even. Oh, I like this. Okay, let's go in with a brush first. We're gonna use my rougher, where's my rougher brush? My rougher BO2. You guys know I just love this brush so much. And I'm not gonna dip onto the back of my hand, the foundation. Well, I guess I could do a little bit because it's melted in. But if it was still liquidy, I would not go like this because it's just gonna seep into those bristles and you're gonna waste product, and then also you're going to stain your brushes. I know from firsthand experience. Been there, done that. That's why a lot of my brushes are so ruined because I used to do that. And then I was like, why am I doing this? I need to stop doing that. And you guys know I kind of like to start off using my fingers and then just blend it in with the brush. It's blending in quite nicely. We are going to build this up a little bit. You're not getting a ton of coverage, but I'm wondering, my Iconic London, I used it the other day because I hadn't used it. You guys know that was like my holy grail a year ago, 2 years ago. I don't even know now. Before Maybelline Skin Tint, that was my holy grail. And now I just don't like it as much. I like it, but I just don't love it like I was. Okay, so you're not getting a ton of coverage. I liked the texture upon first application, but as you guys can see, that's just that first layer. There's nothing on the back of my hand. And you can see my radiance popping through. That's beautiful. I mean, it's not greasy looking, it's just radiant. So upon a first application, I was like, wow, I like the moisture. I liked how moisturizing it felt, but I'm just not getting coverage. Whereas with my Maybelline Skin Tint, I get coverage for a little bit less too, and like $5 to $4 less, or maybe a few dollars less. But I get coverage, but I still feel that moisturizing effect. This feels a little bit thicker too than the Maybelline, just so you guys know. I don't know. At first I was like, woo, I like this, but I don't know, yeah. Okay, let's just keep on going. That's why it's almost better just to do the samples, because then I'm gonna return and then I'm wasting their product and I don't wanna do that. So I'm gonna do a little bit more and see if we can build that up again, just like that much, not much. And we're gonna try to build this up like right there. See how it's thin though? It's moisturizing, but it's very, very thin. This is for my girlies that really don't want any coverage, that just want a nice, because the actual texture of this is really nice. Okay, we're gonna try to press that in. I don't wanna build it up more than this though. We're gonna press this in with the brush because obviously that's gonna give us the most coverage. Okay, that gave me a little bit more coverage, but not much. I don't know, you guys. This is just probably not something that's for me, to be quite honest. I would need a little bit more coverage than that, just for me, because I have like sun damage right here, and it's just for me. That's just, it's my little security blanket if I'm wearing a full glam makeup. Now maybe just like for running out the door, mixing it with my dermatology skin tint, I don't know. I mean, sunscreen tint, I don't know. Let's take a look at it in natural daylight while I ponder, and we'll also take a look at it up close in studio. Yeah, I could really see everything on my skin. So this is just, I mean, it's Reveal the Skin. It is what it is. It's just not my thing, but it still looks really pretty. It's very radiant. It does feel heavy on my skin though, a little bit heavy, because the texture is even thicker than the Iconic London. So at first I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna really like this even more than the Iconic London. I take that statement back. I definitely like the Iconic one better because it has a little bit more coverage, but this is still really pretty. And again, for my girlies out there with really dry skin, I think this is not going to be the best for oily skin types, but you have to test it out yourself, and only if you want a really natural look. I would not build this up because it could probably feel cakey afterwards. So I think that's enough building. And right now it's very tacky. As you can tell, it's sticking. So that could be good and bad. This is definitely one you're gonna have to set down. Let's try using my concealer. We're gonna spot conceal in some areas because I'm doing a more glamorous look later on, testing out a very affordable eyeshadow palette, which I don't know which one's gonna release first, but we'll see. All right, we're doing my Hourglass concealer because this just has enough pigment in it. I just tested out the Danessa Myricks concealer, so you guys can check that out. I'm gonna go in with my Dose of Colors sponge. So as you can tell, I kind of brought the remainder of the concealer, and that gave me all the spot concealing I needed. All right, I'm gonna go in with my One Size powder, and then we'll just kind of speed through this portion because you guys know the drill. And now it's still tacky right here, but right now it's starting to feel a little bit smoother. And I'm actually gonna try out doing Victoria Beckham bronzer because I haven't used this in so long. So let me see, what color do I want to do? So we have 2, which is more, this is 2, 3, and 4. So I'm gonna go in with 2 and the darker version of the 2, this one, and we're gonna use that as a contour. Or not darker, I think it's actually a little bit lighter. We'll start off with the light one because these are quite pigmented. And I'm gonna see how this glides on, just so you guys can see how other products lay on top of it. So I still feel tacky, so this one takes a while to dry down. Because I want a little bit thinner of a powder, I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury. Now, oops, medium, I don't drop everything. So I still feel tacky, and I don't want that bronzer. I can stamp the bronzer powder on or the contour powder on, but I like to do a little bit of swiping, just a little bit. Okay, yeah, that feels a little bit more dried down. So again, this is taking a little bit longer than my skin tints that I like, that I personally like. Okay. So that shade's not really showing up on me, but we need to match up. So we're gonna do this side and then add a little bit more. Oh, I just don't love, I love that as bronzer, but I love my Griselle from Surratt, just better for contouring. Yeah, this is just, this powder is so hard to beat from Surratt. It truly is. It's just a dream come true for us mature skin ladies. If you have acne, even if you're younger, the texture, it just makes everything smooth and nice. Just gonna kind of take that under the chin and a little bit there. That just gave me a little bit more cover. And then I'm gonna take some bronzer, and I think I'm gonna go into, let's go into this one because I'm doing more cool tone looks. That's shade 4. We might mix a little bit of shade 2. We'll see. We'll see how much depth we get from that. Take that. See how pigmented that is? I'm taking it off the back of my hand just so I don't over apply it. Because we're going to be doing a more cool toned look. I want it to be a little bit more red undertoned. I don't want too much orange going on. All right, I'm gonna go in with my Chantecaille Petal as the natural highlight under my eyes. You guys know the drill. See how that brought that contour out? Closed up those pores. So once I put my powders on, it really mattified my skin. That's just my personal preference. That's how I like to bring the radiance out through my powders later on with my highlighters and blush and all that stuff. So do what makes you feel good. If you liked that wet, dewy look earlier, then just do that. You have to do what makes you feel good. This is just a method that I know works really well for my skin type. So I'm gonna wrap things up here, and I will see you guys at the end of the day. All right, Glam Fam, so that is how it looked once I applied all of my makeup. I have to say, you guys, I've had this on for about 4 hours now because I filmed another video. I did some shorts. We had an earthquake. I mean, we had a lot going on here. And it's wearing really nicely. I'm gonna wear this a little bit longer throughout the day, and I will show you guys footage again from another day. Well, tomorrow when I wear it. So if you're new to my channel, I like to rate my products, and I take a look at application, overall finish, wear time, shades, and packaging. Let's take a look at the application. When I'm rating application, I'm looking at how easy this applied, and it did. Overall, it applied very easy. Again, I liked that texture in the beginning, but if it's gonna have that thick of texture, I want some more pigment out of it. So that's my complaint there. As far as the dry down time goes, that took a while for it to dry down. And if you are oily skinned, I just don't know if this is gonna be the skin tint for you, even though it claims to be for normal dry and oily skin. If you're dry skin, you might really love this. It was a little too tacky at first for me. I like something that is smoother. If I'm comparing it to my favorite skin tints, those just dry down a little bit faster. But I have to say, once it did, it looked really beautiful. So I'm gonna give application a 4 out of 5. As far as the overall finish and wear, this is a very radiant type of skin tint. Again, you're not getting, I mean, if you're looking at the coverage level, I'll put it right there. We're looking at very light coverage, and I don't think you should build this one up because it again is so thick, as I mentioned earlier. As far as the pigment level, that was 1. If I can give it 0 almost, I would. So not very pigmented at all. Was it smoothing? It was okay. It wasn't anything magnificent, but it was okay. So I would give smoothing a 3 out of 5. And then those are the percentages. Those are the main things I look for right there. And is it smoothing, blurring, and hydrating? Again, smoothing, I already mentioned, a 3 out of 5. Blurring, no, I don't think there was anything blurring about this. Hydration level, definitely 100%. This is very, very hydrating. And I like the ingredients in it. So I'm gonna give the overall finish a 4 out of 5. As far as the wear time goes, so far so good as I'm reviewing this right now, but we'll see tomorrow where I'm at, and I will put right there the percentage of wear time as I have more time to think about it and play with it. But as for right now, I don't really see a lot of creasing going on, which is really nice. I actually think the longer I'm wearing this, the more I'm liking it, and it does look really pretty, even glammed up with this eyeshadow look. I mean, as long as I was able to spot conceal, if you have perfect skin, like this is gonna be magnificent for you because it is really lightweight now. Even though the texture felt heavy going on, it feels lightweight now, which I do really appreciate. And I don't really feel like I have anything on, and I really like that. I'm gonna continue to play with this because so far, like I'm looking in my monitor right now and even in my magnifying mirror, and it looks good. Is it better than my Maybelline Skin Tint? No, I'm gonna tell you guys that right now. but it's looking pretty darn good. So for right now, I'm gonna give wear time a 5 out of 5 because I think it's really wearing pretty nicely. As far as the shade range goes, that's where this one fails for me. Like, the shade range is atrocious in my opinion. Sephora really needs to fix their shade ranges on their foundations and concealers. And that's all relative because somebody may look at that shade range and go, well, I found my perfect shade. I think it's wonderful. Well, that's wonderful for me. I found a good shade. That's wonderful for somebody else. But overall, I think the oxidization, like the claim that it doesn't oxidize, we all know that's false because all foundations oxidize depending on the person, again, and their pH levels and other factors. But I don't really like when people make claims like that, so that kind of bothered me a little bit. And just the overall shade range, I mean, they could do way more than 20 shades, let's be honest. And it was difficult to find. I had to go in store. I didn't realize I would be in that P category, but 140P is definitely my shade. And maybe 130N, I don't know. I'm gonna try 130N tomorrow, I think. And if it's too light, then I'll pop some of the 140P in, but we'll have to kind of play with that. So I will give you guys what that's going to look like right there. But overall, did I find my shade? Absolutely. And I do think 140P was a beautiful shade for my skin tone currently with my self tan on. And again, I'll show you guys the swatches that I did in store at Sephora. I hope that helped you guys out with the shades. I'm gonna give the overall shade range a 2 out of 5. Sorry, you guys, even though I found my shade, it still didn't meet my expectations. As far as the packaging goes, I think it's really nice. It's compact. I do like the squeezy tubes. The thing is that once it gets towards the bottom, how much product are you getting out? And I look for that kind of stuff. So sometimes with pumps that happens too. It just really depends. But these little droplets allow you to dispense the right amount, which I like. You're not wasting product or overly wasting product. Obviously, I don't have it in studio to show you guys, but I can show you right there that in store what that packaging looks like. And I like that it's similar to the iconic London one where I can like just slip it into a travel bag really quickly, or even your purse if you want to go overnight somewhere. So I really do appreciate the smallness of the packaging. And I like that it's made in Italy, you guys. 12-month shelf life. I wish there was an 18-month shelf life, but 12 months isn't bad. So I'm gonna give overall packaging a 4 out of 5. So we're looking at a total glam score of 19 out of 25. Would I purchase this product? Yes, when the Sephora sale hits, I will definitely pick this up. Again, at a 30% off, because there's too many other skin tints that I love more than this one to make this one to buy for $20. I know $20 may not be a lot to some people, but it's a lot to me and a lot of other people that are just trying to pay the bills right now. I mean, the economy is terrible. So anyway, everything's gone up. This is still my #1 skin tint. If you were to say, Kristi, what is your recommendation? I would definitely go with that one. It just is so incredibly good. It really is. It just gives you that coverage. It lasts all day. It just never lets me down. And 118 is my perfect shade. And then I love my NARS Sheer Glow. That's kind of like a skin tint, and it's just so incredibly beautiful. And then I would do the iconic London one over this one, just because it did deliver, that one delivers a little bit more pigment. Really incredible. Those are my top 3, and then I would put that one at #4. So if I'm ranking those, and you guys can kind of see my shades there. But I hope that helped you guys out if you were interested in buying this. Again, like I always say in every video, take my reviews with a grain of salt because everybody has different skin types, preferences, and desires when it comes to foundations, concealers, powders, whatever I'm reviewing. So always take that with a grain of salt. If you want to try this, definitely try it out. But again, that Sephora sale is right around the corner. So I would wait. You're going to get 30% off. I mean, I don't know if you desperately need this right now. So if you do, then yeah, definitely go test it out. So do what makes you guys happy. Thank you so much again for watching. And if you are new here, before you go, please remember to hit that subscribe button and click the post notification bell. Join our beautiful glam fam. We're here every week and we just love for you to become part of our family. And if you did like this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. When you guys hit the like button and comment below, it really does help my videos out. I'm here during the week. You can check out my weekly shorts. I'm also on Instagram and TikTok, and I do have a blog, KristiAllure.com. KristiAllure.com. I have my merch on there, and I have all the affiliate links. When you guys decide to purchase any of these products, you can definitely purchase that through there, but they're also right here below in right before the description box. You'll see my products right there, and you can just click on there and it goes right to Sephora, and you could just purchase from there as well. So you guys have options, whatever you guys want to do. If you don't want to use my affiliate link, that's fine too, but I would greatly appreciate it. As a smaller channel, you guys, when you subscribe, hit the like button, comment below, use my affiliate links. It really does help support a smaller channel like me, because I don't get those big bucks. I mean, I barely get anything for my videos, and I put a lot of work and time and effort into editing, and I do a lot of product research before I do these videos. So it really does mean a lot to me when you guys are able to, even if it's just hitting the like button, it really does help me out. And even if it's just subscribing, again, all of that helps me out. So I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much, and be sure to check out that video next, and I will see you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.
I'm holding on, if almost gone. Someday I know